Section 1 of England. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Sonia. The World's Story. A History of the World in Story, Song and Art. Volume 9, England. Edited by Eva March Tappan. Section 1. Chaucer at the Court of Edward III. By Ford Madox Brown, English painter, 1821 to 1893. Painting, frontispiece. The following is the painter's description of the scene. Chaucer is supposed to be reading these pathetic lines from the legend of Custance. Here a little child lay weeping in her arm, and kneeling piteously to him she said, Peace, little sonne, I woll to thee no harm. With that here a coverchief of here a head she braid, and over his little eyen she it laid, and in here arme she lullet it full fast, and into the heaven here eyen up she cast. Edward III is now old, Philippa being dead. The Black Prince is supposed to be in his last illness. John of Gaunt, who was Chaucer's patron, is represented in full armour to indicate that active measures now devolve upon him. Pages holding his shield, etc., wait for him, his horse likewise, in the yard beneath. Edward the Black Prince, now in his 40th year, emaciated by sickness, leans on the lap of his wife Joanna, surnamed the Fair Maid of Kent. There had been much opposition to their union, but the prince ultimately had his way. To the right of the old king is Alice Perrers, a cause of scandal to the court, such as, repeating itself at intervals in history, with remarkable similarity from David downwards, seems to argue that the untimely death of a hero may not be altogether so deplorable an event. Seated beneath are various personages suited to the time and place. A troubadour from the south of France, half jealous, half in heart-struck admiration. A cardinal priest on good terms with the ladies. A jester forgetting his part in rapt attention of the poet. This character, I regret to say, is less medieval than Shakespearean. Two dilettante courtiers are learnedly criticizing, the one in the hood is meant for Gower. Lastly, a youthful squire of the kind described by Chaucer as never sleeping at night more than doth the nightingale, so much is he always in love. Sitting on the ground being common in these days, rushes used to be strewn to prevent the gentlemen from spoiling their fine clothes. End of Section 1. This recording is in the public domain. Section 2 of England. Read for Librivox.org by Sonia. England, Part 1. Stories of the Ancient Britons. Historical Note. In prehistoric days people lived in Britain who used weapons of stone, and occasionally drew figures of animals upon bone or ivory. From the east there came upon these primitive folk Celtic tribes. The first of these invaders are known as Goidels, or Gaels. They were the tribe that peopled Ireland and the Highlands of Scotland. The later comers are distinguished as Britons. From their name Britain is derived. Their descendants are the Welsh. There are somewhat vague stories of voyages to Britain by Phoenicians, Carthaginians, and Greeks, but our first definite knowledge of the country comes from the account which Julius Caesar wrote of his landing on the British shores in 55 B.C. The actual conquest of the land by the Romans was begun in 43 A.D., and by the year 84 they held all the territories south of the Firth of Forth. In A.D. 122 the Emperor Hadrian visited Britain and ordered the construction of a great wall 70 miles long from the Tyne to the Solway, to ward off the attacks of the Picts, or painted folk, as the Romans called them, a primitive Celtic people inhabiting Scotland. As the Roman Empire slowly grew weaker, legion after legion of the soldiers was recalled from Britain. In the year 409 the last of the Roman troops withdrew from the island, leaving the prosperous and peace-loving natives an easy prey to the wild Celtic tribes of Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. End of Section 2. This recording is in the public domain.
Section 3 of England. This is a Librivox. Sample complete. Ready to continue?